but Ahoy, sailors, and welcome back to the NXT Back to the Future podcast. My name is David Simmons, and I'm joined as ever by a man who hears voices in his head that counsel him and understand. It's Adam Howells. It's Adam Howells.
What do you say then? There are voices in my head.
You hear voices in your head that understand and counsel you.
Oh, they talk to me.
They talk to me.
That was an amazing segment a few weeks ago, by the way. It's probably one of my favourite segments I've watched on a pay-per-view. It was Nakamura in the background, sort of like doing the whole like arm thing.
Randy Orton pose.
I couldn't even do it now. Whatever he does. It's
hilarious.
How are you, bud?
Pretty good, mate. Pretty good. How are you?
I'm okay, mate.
Excellent.
Today has been, for any OG listeners to the podcast, Doors Galore 2.0.
Doors Galore.
Do you remember that little segment?
Tried to block it out.
I know. Not the most interesting, but there we go.
There's a lot of stuff in these two episodes.
There really
a lot of stuff.
A lot of
Better
stuff
to have something to talk about than shit all.
It's not like last week where we're almost like, all filler, no thriller.
All filler, no killer.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Sam. You love that. And that. There you go. So,
first bit of tapping from Dave.
There we go. It's episode 75. It's November the 20th, 2013, Full Sail University. The opening guitar lick sends us into the credits, and we open with the returning NXT champion, Bo Dallas. Bo has been out for 6 to 8 weeks with a legitimate injury to his left foot, but clearly he's 100% healed now. He enters to balloons, and he manages to put on a party hat to chance of no more Bo. Even though you've been out, you're not welcomed back.
No, we have Alex Riley, Regal and Byron on the desk, but it's difficult to tell as they all try and talk at the same time.
Oh my god, it's like us. That's why we're only a two-man booth.
Exactly. If we had a third person, it would be a fucking nightmare.
Oh, it would be awful.
Apologies, Sam.
Yeah, no offence. Bo brilliantly stands in the middle of the ring with his thumbs up, and everyone just boos him.
There's one random person that shouts, "Fire this person."
That's not nice.
No,
the man's got a family.
Exactly. He's got kids.
Probably not at this point. He comments that there's no place like home, and he's back. And he said if you've ever seen the Bo Dallas newsletters, you'd know. Everyone loves Bo, and he says he wishes everyone had been there, to huge no chance. However, he's prepared a slideshow to thunderous boos, and he's going to show everybody what he's been up to. Night 1. Bo Dallas World Tour, Montreal, Quebec, Canada. In Canada, they call their Bo Leavers Bo Nuts.
For God's sake.
He was welcomed with open arms in Cambodia, where he sports entertained in front of 300,000 people against Justin Gabriel. He says, Justin Gabriel's a good kid. I beat him. What's remarkable about this is he doesn't say wrestled, he says sports entertained, which gets thunderous boos.
They really hate the idea of sports entertainment, don't they?
They really do. Are you not sports entertained, Adam? I'm sports entertained by this. It was brilliant, top to bottom.
I'm simultaneously laughing my arse off and raging at the same time. I don't know how to feel.
What's brilliant about this, he then moved on to Liechtenstein, where he met a young disabled boy named Norbert.
Fucking Norbert.
When Bo hugged him, the doctor said his health improved over 50% and he can now walk and play sports.
I have no words. I've got nothing for you, Dave, on this one.
What's fantastic is he then accidentally drops the remote and then there's a picture of him touching a sumo wrestler's bum.
Yeah.
And he goes, that's not supposed to be on there. Brilliantly, he decides to show a couple more pictures and then he starts handing out cookies as everyone starts to get excited. But he's interrupted by JBL, who has a tremendously large smile on his face. Coat hanger in the mouth, that's what it reminded me of. He applauds as he makes his way to the ring. JBL says, on behalf of the company, we're all very proud of you. Sami Zayn makes a timely appearance to interrupt, and he's sporting a tremendous Misfit shirt. He's back. Or is he? Huge Olay chants as Bo looks confused. He says, hey Sami, did you come to get a cookie? Sami says, No Bo. But he's glad to see him, and he's glad to see JBL after his suspension. JBL demands that Sami learn some respect, but Sami says he doesn't mean to be disrespectful, he just wants a chance to get the championship off of Bo's waist. JBL says you don't just say no offence and demand a title shot, and he can suspend him indefinitely. He says that although Sami took his suspension well, he's decided to reinstate him, and Sami is officially back on NXT. Bo congratulates him, but says, "Did you forget? I already beat you for the NXT Championship. Don't be a sore loser." Sami says he will start at the bottom and he'll work his way back up to the top. And it means that he will get to Bo and he will beat him. JBL sets a beat the clock challenge to crown a new number one contender, and Sami's going to be competing tonight. This was a fantastic segment. The heat was unbelievable, and it was a really good steady focus on Sami as a really fiery babyface.
The heat on Bo Dallas is just nuclear.
It's
and
remarkable.
at the point where he's shouting, "You're getting a cookie. No, you're getting a cookie." I'm just like, I'm not sure what to think. I'm struggling to understand maybe a bit of the way Bo does promos because it's so purposeful. I'm trying to think, is this a man drained of confidence? Or is he actually trying to get this sort of reaction?
No, this is so purposeful and it is brilliant. He is so good in this character. It's actually unbelievable.
It's really odd to watch, I have to say. It boggles the mind how he can get over this like sort of really nervous, sort of weaselish heel. Because that's what he is.
He is, yeah. He's
Such
brilliant.
a fucking weasel. It's unbelievable.
He's so good. So good. Colin Cassidy's out for the first match of the Beat the Clock Challenge, and he's facing Rusev. Lana speaks Bulgarian and introduces him. She's wearing a horrible grey dress and black leather boots.
It's not great.
It's one of the worst outfits I've ever seen.
We get told as well at the start of this that apparently Enzo was injured in a live show. So that's why Cass has come to the ring by himself.
Yes, this is where I believe he breaks his leg.
Ah, okay.
So, yeah, Enzo ends up in a wheelchair for a while. However, he does recover.
To be fair, they should just roll him out and let him cut promos every week.
They do.
Do they?
Yep, and it's brilliant.
Fucking amazing.
So, yeah, it is very good. I don't know if you noticed, but who was on ring announcing duties tonight?
I did tell you briefly a second ago. It is Alex Riley.
No. That's commentary. Ring announcing.
Oh, ring announcing.
Coming to the ring, weighing 363 pounds. That ring announcing.
No.
Who's ring announcing? Did you see?
I didn't see, no.
It's Alexa Bliss.
Is she?
It's baby Alexa Bliss. This is when she's
okay.
training to wrestle. And so normally what they do is they end up having the women, just to get them used to being in front of crowds, doing the ring announcing. So yeah, just like the woman who did it previously and never got any time in ring, Alexa's now taken over the mantle and she's doing the ring announcing.
Wasn't that what's the name?
We looked at her last week, can't remember her name.
Yeah.
Summer also did it as well.
That's what I mean. Summer, how she did a thing with Paige, didn't she?
Yeah, Summer did it first and put it into a feud, which was good. And then some woman that never got any actual TV time to wrestle did it, and now Alexa's doing it.
How did I not notice that?
I know, it's literally, she's got like red highlights in her hair as well, which she does have going forward. So, Rusev starts quickly, but Cassidy throws some right hands and he gets blocked out by Rusev. Rusev has the longest match ever when he needs to ironically win in the quickest time possible. He must be pissed off.
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, Byron asks Regal, what strategy would you implore for this sort of match? Regal's like, beat your opponent as quickly as possible. What else do you need to do?
I mean, he's got a point. Headbutts by Rusev and he ascends the ropes, but misses, and Cassidy lands a gigantic right hand. Another right hand knocks him down for a 2. Harley race knee by Cassidy for another 2. Empire elbow and another near fall. A good showing from Cassidy this week. Cass goes into the turnbuckle and the accolade is locked in, but Cass somehow manages to fight out. It's the 4-minute mark and a winner doesn't seem like it's forthcoming. Cass tries to fight, but he's put down and immediately taps to the accolade, second time of asking, for the time target being set at 5 minutes 53 seconds. Fucking humble, mate.
Yeah, fucking humble. It's weird how he fights out of it the first time though, because usually once he's locked in, that's it.
That's a good little sign of faith or going over or one of these things.
Possibly it was locked in too early.
Maybe. Well, it hasn't been a problem. The last 8 matches he's won in 45 seconds.
No, true. Yeah, but on this, they want to have matches that are a bit longer than 45 seconds, don't they?
Yeah. So just for those who don't know, the rules of the official WWE Beat the Clock Challenge is people have matches and a time is set. So the first match has just happened. The time to beat is 5 minutes 53. So what they do is they have 5 minutes 53 on the timer. And if you get a victory before that 5 minutes 53 is up, then you set the new time, which is the quickest time to win. And if you don't, then the match just ends, and it ends as a double sort of disqualification. And then obviously that person still is in the lead with their time. So 5 minutes 53 is the first official time. What do you think about 5 minutes 53 being set, Adam?
I'm going to be honest, when I watched it, I got 5 minutes 33. As in, that's the time I saw in the corner.
What am I saying? 5 minutes 53?
Yeah.
Sorry, 5 minutes 33. Good Lord.
Okay. Well, I was right then.
You were right. You're absolutely 5 minutes 30. I just thought I was saying 5 minutes 33. And I was saying 5 minutes 53.
Okay.
Time
controversy right here.
There we go.
I reckon it's good. It gives you snappy little matches. So it's something you're not going to think, oh, fucking hell, we're going to drag this on for, 20 minutes when it doesn't need to drag on for 20 minutes. You know the action is going to be quick.
Yeah.
It's going to be purposeful, and it gives you something to watch out for. And what are you doing that? Dave's pulling faces at me as I'm speaking. Also, like, the idea of jeopardy, and you need to get this done.
Yeah.
This match needs to be finished quickly.
Definitely, yeah. I think it does. It builds the tension in the matches, which I think is good.
Spoiler, it makes for a great episode.
It does actually. Yeah, I can't lie. Devon Taylor is backstage with Neville. She asks about the match last week with Corey Graves and about Corey Graves' unfortunate concussion. The Jumping Geordie says something along the lines of, "He tried to take out my new man and my career. But what happens is unfortunate, but now he needs to focus on beat the clock man. Now Devon, I know a thing or two, man, about speed. I'm a human roller coaster, man. Roller coaster? Can Adrian Neville beat Aiden English? You betcha, man."
That's cracking. That's why I had to stare at my laptop, because if I look at you, you're going to break.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was good, man.
Yes! I haven't even practiced it.
I've got to look at my laptop, because if I look at you, you're going to crack.
There's no
way you're going to
do you know what,
though?
He blessed me this week, because roller coaster's one of those Geordie words, isn't it? Roller coaster?
Roller coaster?
Roller coaster, man.
Yeah.
So, yes, I've had a lot of practice at the word knee as well, because he says it every promo. Take out me knee and end me career, man.
Yeah. Great promo, really. Not from me.
Thank you very much.
From Neville, it was a good promo. It's a debut of Devon Taylor as well.
I believe so. Yeah. She's not bad, is she?
Yeah, she's all right.
I've seen worse people. Let's have a look. Devon Taylor, WWE. I thought she'd been on before.
No.
It says here that she's an American. Oh, it's Brittany Fetkin. Oh, okay. Yeah. Wow, she looks different. Jesus. Yeah, Brittany Fetkin, I think her real name is. She's good friends with Nia Jax in real life.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she hangs out with Nia quite a lot. And, she was like she said like, oh, I want to become a wrestler. So she recently started like training to be a wrestler, I think. So that was interesting. But yeah, there you go. Devon Taylor is Brittany Fetkin. It's a name that I knew. Ono and Breeze are facing each other and the Beat Clock Challenge later on.
Excuse me, Bailey? Hi. Can you tell everyone how you're feeling after Charlotte double-crossed you last week?
I mean, I really don't know why she did what she did. We were best friends. We were like SpongeBob and Patrick. Like Tommy and Chucky. And now we're not any of those. I mean, I had her first match here in NXT, where I met her dad. Woo! I taught her how to pogo stick, and we used to do the robot together.
Well, have you spoken to Charlotte?
No. I haven't had the courage to confront her yet. I'm just thinking, just give her like another week or so. But Charlotte, if you're watching, I just want to say that when I find you, these bad boys are going to be doing all the talking. Sorry if I scared you. I just always wanted to do that.
It's okay. Thank you for your time, Bailey.
Oh, you're welcome. Hey, Devon, would you want to do the robot with me? It's really easy. Just let your arm hit me.
This is a really nice segment. Bailey, bless her, is not very happy. She's been betrayed, and now she's getting to the point she needs to stand up for herself.
You know, she is. She needs that best friend back. You know, they were like SpongeBob and Patrick, Tommy Pickles and Chucky
Finster.
Yes.
There you go.
There we are.
I'll help you out.
Dave Simmons and Adam Howells, baby.
Here we go. That's it. I love how she says, these bad boys. You know, she's going to have to answer to these bad boys. These bad boys are her fists, all right?
Yeah.
These,
She's just always wanted to say that.
bop and bang.
I tell you what, I love that little moment because it's basically, you know, this is why we love her. She's a massive wrestling fan at heart. Fans recognise fans.
There.
That
Absolutely.
is it.
Yeah. She's really good here.
Come on, Devon, do the robot.
Yeah. You fucking moody bitch. Mate, the gorgeous one is here, all the way from his summer residence in Milan, Italy. Ono thunders down the ramp, and these two are going for a furious pace. We've got near falls early from both, before Ono chops the nipples off of Breeze.
It's absolutely unbelievable.
It's vile. Lovely head kick, but Ono falls out of the ring. Disaster, and then the ref randomly tells him he can't get out of the ring to go and get it.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make any sense.
No, it's just wasting time. We do have a really great moment on commentary where I think it's who's asking the questions. I've completely blanked on who's on the desk.
Saxton.
Saxton asks Regal about what he would do in this sort of match, and Alex Riley says to him, "Why do you always go to Mr. William Regal with these questions? Like, you know, why don't you go to me?" He's like, "Well, what would you do?" He's like, "No, why do you always go to Regal and not ask me?" And Regal at this point comes out with, "Well, it's 30 years and 44 countries worth of experience rather than 200 matches and carrying the Miz's bags everywhere."
I mean, he's got a point.
He's got a massive point.
He's got a point.
Bodied, Alex. Bodied,
mate. Rip. Lovely head kick, but Ono falls out of the ring. 2 minutes 30 left. Breeze scopes out the clock and begins to panic. The crowd chants for both men as Breeze frantically attacks Ono. Beauty shot attempt as Ono scores a 2 before another 2, and they trade pinfall reverses into the last minute until Ono scores a 3 with 45 seconds to spare, leaving the time to beat at Cassius Ono's 4 minutes 48 seconds. Unico and Camacho are now returning. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
I don't feel anything for this, just because you can sort of see where it's going, but we'll watch.
Yeah, they announced their opponents, but I didn't really get to hear who they were.
No, they say the names, but they don't have the names come up on the screen, so it says how important they are.
Yeah, losers. Yeah, so chance to impress is literally, it's just a slam and a senton bomb by Hunico for a 3. That's Hunico's first match after being out for 8 months.
They could have given him something of a bit more substance. I mean, had he been going to wrestle in the Armoury by any chance, or?
No, I think that's probably genuinely his first match back. He's probably on live events. But yeah, he's just had ACL surgery, so he's been out for a good 8-9 months. They challenged the Ascension to a match afterwards, which could be a fatal mistake.
Yeah.
Ono's backstage with new announcer Dan Avone, and Lana says that he's made a big mistake. He copies her accent with a bit of casual racism and says when he's NXT champion, Rusev can have the first shot.
It's really kind of him to offer Rusev the first chance.
I know.
Nice guy.
Do you know what? Alana does that really annoying thing with the voice when she goes, yeah, yeah. Oh my god, it it's the most annoying noise.
Putting on the accent.
It's actually awful.
Yeah, it's not great.
Speaking of awful, Neville and English are up next with no entrances again.
No.
What's that about?
But if you look into the next week, they briefly show on like a promo package Aiden coming out. So he's obviously said something on the way to ring, but they just cut it completely. It's the best bit about Aiden English.
It's literally, I don't
It's
understand.
the whole part of his character.
Unless all of the only thing I was thinking about it the other day, the only thing I can think that must be a problem here is all the songs that he sang. They must have got in touch with WWE and like done them for copyright and said you can't do them because they're like copyrighted songs or something.
Yeah.
Like if, I don't know, it might be the same. Like if Bo Dallas came out singing "You're free," bit of Celine Dion, and that's a copyrighted song. I honestly don't know.
What has he sang that's copyrighted? He's made up a lot of his own songs.
No, but they're all musicals. Like they're all.
Oh yeah,
they're all musicals. He's just changed the lyrics.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can get done for copyright for that.
I don't know.
However, I would love to see Bo Dallas singing "My Heart Will Go On" by Celine Dion. You imagine?
We're not going to see that on this podcast, are we?
Sadly not, but it would be bloody amazing.
He'd make it work. He really would.
Or Leo Kruger being in a rap group. Leo Kruger doing MC Hammer.
Trying to think of some random lyrics there, but I just can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Who else could do a good song?
This is a thing. What cameos would you like to see?
Yes, here we go.
This is what you want.
I don't know, it's a tough one.
The Ascension singing Barbie Girl would be quite good.
Sami Zayn singing Ice Ice Baby.
Yeah.
Alright, stop. Carbureate and listen. Zayn is back with a brand new invention. Deadly. The Haluva Kick. Blue Thunder Bomb.
For a 2 count,
sick.
yeah.
Will I ever stop? I don't know. Turn off the lights and let's go. That'd be amazing.
Fight, baby.
Like Kevin Owens could do it.
Yes! And then you can turn on him again.
That would be good.
Yeah.
Cesaro could. Do you know what I'd love to see? Bit of Sweet Caroline by Danny Burch. Sweet Caroline by Danny Burch before every match, just coming out. Sweet Caroline, everyone in the crowd, ba ba ba, like the main event of the boxing. Before that, Danny Burch had just come out, ready to go.
I'll tell you what was probably one of the best entrances I've ever seen. It's on YouTube. It's in progress when Spud comes out
To
does his Living on a Prayer.
Yeah, Living on a Prayer.
That is an
He used to
absolute
watch that
banger.
all the time.
Yeah. Who was he fighting for that? It was like Carl Robinson or something like that.
No, it was Thingy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, whatever his name is. He's a twat. Paul Robinson.
Yeah, sorry, Paul Robinson.
Did you have you ever seen the amazing deathmatch tournament where they have a drunk death match?
Drunk death match?
Yeah, they have a death match, but both participants have to be drunk before it begins. And
is that a bit like sort of they've Edward 40 handsed it? Sounded like that one.
Maybe. But John Moxley is in the match, and he comes out to Sweet Caroline.
You're going to have to show me that entrance after we finish this.
Have you never seen it?
No.
It's hilarious. He comes out to Sweet Caroline. Oh, who sings Sweet Caroline? It's Neil Diamond.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he comes out under the name Neil Diamond Cutter. And it's absolutely brilliant. He's pissed as anything. It's so good. There's about 35 people in attendance. It's in a bloody gymnasium, and he's pissed before a match. Quality.
Of course it is. Because, you're going to wrestle death matches just in front of 35 people.
Mate, they don't tend to draw big crowds.
No, it's a niche of wrestling I'm not a massive fan of.
Yes, well, fuck you, mate. That's all I'm going to say.
Shall we get back onto Neville versus Aiden English?
We could do. Let me find this drunk death match, though, so I don't forget it.
There's going to be a lot of cutting out in this.
Here it is, mate. Drunken Taipei death match. Amazing.
Is this young Dean as well?
Yeah, he's baby. He's baby here.
Baby Dean.
Baby Dean. Mate, maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Baby Dean. I'm a terrible human being.
Yes, you are.
Now, it's interesting. This match actually starts off really quick, and it is quite entertaining, even though it is quite short. What did you think about this?
Again, just a really snappy match. We have...
There's no time to piss around with rest holds.
No, you can't.
It's great.
So they're going to have to... They go for it, and they're going to get gassed at the end of it, because they're probably going at such a high pace they're not used to. Well, Neville doesn't look gassed at all, but, that's just Neville. He's an absolute machine.
Dude's in awesome shape.
Again, Aiden shouting, "This is my spotlight," is, fantastic.
Yeah, I really liked this match. Neville attempts the red arrow with a minute to go, but English rolls away. English and Neville fight on the top rope, and English falls off. Neville adjusts and hits the red arrow for a 3 and beats it by 3 seconds. It's a close one, but 4 minutes 45 is now the target to beat by Adrian Neville. Backstage, the Ascension accept the challenge put forth to them earlier this evening. Victor says it's too late now for Hunico and Camacho because the Ascension will rise. Kruger's music hits and the deranged Hunter is here to face Sami Zayn. The time to beat is 4:45, but can either man better it? In control early, Leo Kruger is normally very calculating, so this doesn't seem to be the match for him.
No, it's not his style of sort of picking apart someone like slowly. So he's having to work a bit of a quicker pace. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's not terrible. It's half
He's just so
decent.
used as a character, isn't he, to wrestling slow.
It'd be like trying to get Corey Graves in this sort of match.
Yeah.
He's just not suited to it at all. No. But we do have Bo Dallas watching this as well. He walks out and he brings a chair out and he sits at the top of the ramp watching proceedings.
He does. Zayn hits a nice crossbody, but there is no momentum to be gained as Kruger is all over Zayn. Kruger hits the slice with 15 seconds left for a 2 count. They go back and forth with multiple pins, but Zayn doesn't relent and reverses a pin to tie the time with Neville. JBL immediately comes out and says his error will have no controversy, as next week it will be Neville versus Zayn, and the following week the winner will face Bo Dallas for the NXT Championship. Huge stakes next week. What do you think of that episode?
Brilliant episode. Really good episode of TV. A lot to digest, a lot of promos, and a lot of matches as well.
A lot of good stuff.
Yeah, I quite like the snappy matches.
I did.
Because sometimes you can just piss around, and just have, 9 or 10 minute matches go on for about 20, and it's just, it just feels draining by the time you got to the end of it, and there's never any real substance, whereas everything mattered in this. And the fact that all of them were looking at the clock.
Yeah.
While doing this as well.
Yeah.
And that makes a difference. That it means that the stakes are high.
Yeah. I have to say, this is probably my favourite Beat the Clock challenge ever. I'm not a massive fan of Beat the Clock normally, but I feel like the shortness of the matches work well in this to set up a huge number 1 contender match.
Yeah, I feel the same about them. Like, the ones I've watched have just always been terrible.
And you know who's going to win them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas this one, actually, even though you could see it coming, it was like, yeah, it made sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was a good episode.
Really good episode. Can't complain.
I just thought I would ask you, who would be your dream 3 signings to NXT at this point?
At this point in time?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to find that one difficult because I don't really know wrestlings. Oh. Fuck's sake.
Yeah, it's a tricky
Didn't
one.
really know wrestling back then.
I didn't know the wrestlings, man.
Fuck's sake.
Do you know who would be welcome on this roster at the moment?
Who?
Stone Cold E.T.
You just wanted to mention Stone Cold E.T., didn't you?
All right, I wanted to mention Stone Cold E.T. Hands up in the air.
Oh, hell yeah!
Stone Cold E.T. rules, mate.
He does.
Mate, all he wants is a couple of White Castle burgers with a little bit of meat on them, and a little bit of onion, and a little bit of ketchup. Stone Cold E.T. rules.
He does. He, in fact, rules.
Stone Cold E.T. might be the greatest wrestler of the 21st century.
I don't think he's the greatest wrestler of the 21st century.
How rude. Stone Cold E.T. is the man.
100% at cutting promos. Have you ever seen him in a match?
Yes, actually. He was in a battle royal.
Was he? It's like Superhuman being at the battle of the Juggalos and Juggalettes. Is that sort of level of insanity?
It is! That level of, shit.
That man that takes too many risks for our entertainment, it actually hurts me.
Do you know what? He did the worst stunt ever today. If you've never seen Superhuman...
What did he do today?
Oh, it was awful. It was like broken glass, bricks and gusset plates. But it was loads of gusset plates, and he front flipped into them, so they just all literally just annihilated his back, and I was like, oh, it was horrible.
My favourite one, without a shadow of a doubt, is the microwave. The microwave one where he just bounces off.
Just bounces off it because it's like fucking.
So if you
4 foot tall.
Obviously, if you're from the UK, here microwaves are quite small, but it was like an old style American microwave.
Yeah.
So it was a big
big square one. Ugh.
Never has an inanimate object taken such little pity on a human being. He just bounces off it.
Oh, it absolutely kills him. Mate, Superhuman versus Stone Cold E.T. Book it.
Please.
Take over 1, let's go. He comes out like Enzo Amore. This right here is the Juggalos and the Juggalettes, baby!
He would actually do that as well.
Mate, he would literally, he'd be straight in. Episode 76, November the 27th, 2013, and we are at Full Sail University. It's a highlight of last week's explosive episode, and Yoshitatsu is out first for action. He's facing Cesaro. Let's go, baby.
Great music again. I have to say, the montage was really good.
It was good, yeah.
Yeah, I got really into it, even though I literally watched it about 30 seconds previously. But I thought, yeah, this is class. If someone had never watched it, they were just watching this random episode, they'd know what was going on.
It's always good.
Yeah.
I always heard good things about Yoshitatsu. Apparently he would always come to the performance center, even though he was a graduate of like the New Japan dojo, and he would always he would come in when he didn't have to, and he would always do like in-ring practice and do the drills with the people who were learning in-ring stuff. And I always felt like he had a really good attitude. He was always very good. It's no surprise that he was in the company for so long. He was very popular amongst talent.
I'm not surprised he's been used in this role as well.
Yeah.
Because he is a jobber. That's pretty much his role.
He is.
But he does it really well.
Exactly.
So
Cesaro rages at Saxton after Saxton touches the Gadsden flag. He traps him in the corner and threatens him, but Regal comes to his rescue, pulling Saxton out of the ring. And Regal notes on commentary he doesn't need to take liberties with him for no reason. Potential match? Yes, please.
Yeah. We also get, because Tom asked him the question, he's like, I usually sit here with Byron on the desk, Tom, because he's a lot better than you. But he's also my friend, and he doesn't need to put up with that. Bantering off Tom and defending Byron at the same time. I am 100% in for that.
There we go. Cesaro starts off with quickness and big power, and a huge swing that goes over 25 swings as Cesaro throws Tatsu down, staring at Regal. A "You are awesome" chant at Cesaro as they question if Cesaro is staring at Regal. Regal continues to talk Cesaro up. Neutralise that as he waves at Regal, and Regal uncomfortably sits and watches. A very personal message sent by Cesaro.
I'm intrigued by all of this. It's going to be great.
Absolutely. And if they're going to have a match, well, to quote Paul Bearer, oh yes! Can't wait.
I hadn't seen Paul Bearer in ages until you brought it up on. We were watching some wrestling the other day. I think we were looking at the
terrible Undertaker versus Undertaker.
Yeah, because we were talking about it the previous week, and you were showing me a bit of it.
We were. Good times.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's throw things backstage now to our newest broadcast colleague, Devon Taylor.
Please welcome my guest at this time, NXT champion, Bo Dallas.
Hi, Devon.
Hi, Bo. Now, what are your thoughts on who will win tonight's #1 contenders match?
Devon, you're looking at this in the wrong way. Tonight, we're all winners. We get to see two youngsters give it their all in that ring in front of the world. It's like watching The Voice. All we're missing is CeeLo Green. And plus, the winner gets to face me next week. What an opportunity. That's got to be like music to their ears. Of course, neither one of them has a chance of beating me, but the kind of champion I am is one to take them under my wing and teach them everything. Excuse me, Captain Fantastic. The champ is talking here. Whoa, man. I didn't realize I was harsh and you're mellow. Whoa, man. I didn't realize you were still employed. When was the last time you won a match there, Pauly Shore? How about tonight, when I beat you dead center in the middle of the NXT universe? You just landed on the dark side of the moon, child. Don't be surprised when you find yourself shaking in your little cowboy boots. You think You're on. Cuckoo, ka-choo. He thinks I'm gonna be shaking in my boots.
After a tie.
This segment was brilliant. CJ Parker is not brilliant.
No. I really like the fact that Dallas has said, like, we get to watch two youngsters, like, like
Both,
the voice.
both older than him.
Yes. We're just missing CeeLo Green.
Brilliant. Parker versus Bo is up. Bo doesn't seem to be shaking in his boots, as referred to in the promo, although technically he no longer has those boots on.
Well, he does. He has some sort of, like, his wrestling boots do resemble, like,
He was wearing cowboy boots earlier.
I know, but his wrestling boots resemble
Well, these
cowboy
were proper
boots.
cowboy boots, mate, like Kid Rock would wear.
Yeah. Because he's always around WWE, isn't he, Kid Rock?
Cowboy, baby. With the sun right back and the sunshine shining. Classic.
I didn't say it earlier, but, like, CJ Parker does resemble, like, a really shit-looking Captain Jack Sparrow in the promo. He does.
Oh my god.
He's fucking there, walked on, like,
He
waving
is-
this stick of incense
he is-
as well, like some fucking goof.
And literally, as well, they treat that stick of incense like it's fucking, like, high-grade weed from the Columbia.
That is pretty much all they've done it for, is, like, comedic
Literally, yeah.
effect. There's no other reason
He's
for it to
walking,
be
walking
there.
around like, smoke the doobies, bruh. And everyone else is like, mate, it's incense. It's incense. It's not marijuana.
Mary J.
He would call it the Mary Joanna as well, wouldn't
Yeah, he would.
He's that sort of character. Smoking the Mary Joanna, bruh. Loser. Fucking what a knob. A quiet match ends with a bow dog and Dallas wins in 5 minutes. They talk up Parker's efforts, but it's a nice easy return to action after Bo's split foot injury.
They haven't mentioned that in ages. I've not been able to up the counter.
He's fully healed! That must be it!
No, it has to be. They did say, actually, at the start of this match that apparently Bo has been champion for 188 days so far. Really?
I know.
Oh, no.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, what date is it? Is it November the 27th in this episode?
Yeah.
Cassius Ohno got released on November the 8th and he's still on TV.
Fucking hell.
So, yeah, there you go.
There we are.
Champion is back here on NXT, but right now let's throw things backstage once again to our broadcast colleague, Devon Taylor.
Please welcome my guest at this time, the leader of the Evolution, Emma.
Hey.
Emma, can you give us an update on your injuries?
Well, unfortunately, I was attacked by the BFFs in the locker room and sustained some head injuries. But no big deal, because I'll be back better than ever, and then the Evolution will continue to spread worldwide.
Really back better than ever, right? Well, that's good because there'll be no excuses when we finally face off for my title.
Excuses? Why would I need excuses?
Oh, I don't know, like a couple of weeks ago when you hit me, what was your excuse then, Emma?
It was an accident, Paige.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just like when you hit me the week before, right? That was an accident.
That
right?
was an accident because if it wasn't, you wouldn't be standing here right now.
Oh, really?
Really?
I don't like your tone.
Well, in your condition, I don't make any sort of movements.
What do you mean? Like this? Yeah. I'll see you soon, Paige.
Where are you going?
After the stunning loss last...
Nice promo here. There's much better synergy between these two than there is the BFFs.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, these two actually... The timing... Emma's comedic timing's much better. And Paige comes over quite well as a serious face.
I love the fact that, like this, and she's like dancing and like doing her sort of like hands in her face and like dancing away.
I loved it when she was like, well, what did you hit me last week then? She went, we've already been through it. It was an accident. I was like, she's like, it's not an accident. She was like, but it was. I'm like, that's
Emma
awesome.
is great in
She's
this.
really funny, yeah.
It's really weird to see the fact they made this face v face dynamic work, because usually they're terrible.
Yeah, it is interesting. They never tend to do these sort of promos, these sort of feuds. So yeah, that's a really good point, Adam, actually.
Yeah.
Natalya and Paige then have an argument, and Paige is clearly just looking for a fight tonight, isn't she?
Yeah.
They basically discuss Natalya not caring about wrestling or being a champion because she's on Total Divas, which is ironic because Paige is on it in like 2 years' time. So there we go.
What is the point in this? Why is Natalya here? Is it literally just for that, just to give Paige a match?
Hey, you guys! She did say that.
She is only here to give Paige a match because they don't want to, ruin anyone else on the roster because they haven't got anyone else on the roster to ruin. She's feuded with everyone they have.
I mean,
There's not enough depth there at the moment.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It is what it is. That's all I can say. However, it's an interesting dynamic because she's a good person for these women to work with because she does have a lot of experience.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. She's a veteran at this point.
Have you ever watched Total Divas?
No, I have not.
Special Total Divas Season 1 coverage, maybe?
No! Again, as I pointed out with, what else was there? I can't remember what it is we said last week. It's something I don't have to get paid to do, Dave. I'm not going to waste my time watching it if I don't need to.
You, sir, are a coward.
I'll tell you what, if we post it on Twitter, if we get say 15 or 20 likes on it.
15 likes?
We don't...
You know you're safe. Call it 10.
No, I'm going 15.
Call it 10.
Because if we get 15, I will watch, and I'll even clip this now, and you can put that on there as well. I'll watch... We'll do the first 3 or 4 episodes.
No, we'll do the first season.
We'll do the first season.
I'll do the first season.
Okay, we have to get 15 likes in a week on it.
Okay, fine.
Come
on, people.
I'll shake your hand here, right now.
Come on, people. This is like the Mega Powers handshake.
This is it.
Like that handshake out of bloody that film with Jean-Claude Van Damme in it. You son of a bitch.
I'm in.
Don't let me down, people. Ono versus Breeze happens, but Ono is hurt before the match with Rusev. Ono says he's okay to fight, but that's clearly not true because he gets the beauty shot and it's over in about 5 seconds. I've written here in my notes, as far as I'm aware, that is Ono done, and he was released on November the 8th, so this should be his last pre-taped show. However, he does have one more match against Rusev on the next show, which I assume is probably his last match.
I would make that assumption as well. I also think, and it's a shame because what I'm about to say is a bit contradicting because they're releasing, but I think it puts both people over in the scenario.
Yeah.
Because it shows Cassius is really resilient and, I want to go through this, but also puts over how devastating the beauty shot is.
Well,
even
and also...
though he's already been damaged, if you know what I mean, blindsided by Rusev.
True. But and the other thing you've got to bear in mind here as well is that last week they had Ono win. And by that point he'd already been released, in the real life timeline.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous. So, I don't know, I just think that's a bit silly.
It's typical WWE 50-50 booking.
Ironically, though, this is sort of his, second to last match. Ironically, when he debuted against Mike Dalton in NXT, and Dalton's new persona, Tyler Breeze, has sent him out of NXT with a loss.
That is weird,
it's a nice bit of nice factoid there.
Well, he's not going to send him out because he's going to have a match with Rusev, and I imagine he'll lose that.
Yeah, but he got wrecked, didn't he?
Yeah.
I also laughed a lot as well. During Breeze's entrance, Regal said, "Bloody hell, Tyler Breeze is a good-looking fella. Meanwhile, Tom, you look like you've been embalmed."
That was brilliant.
Poor Tom.
Regal's back
after
on board
After a year, though, Tom will be loved by Regal as well, so it'll be all right.
That's fine.
So there you go.
I think because he's working with Byron, he loves Byron so much.
He does love Byron.
He has a man crush.
It's a big year for Regal because actually at this point he's like the head WWE talent scout. So when people start to come into this podcast, at this point he was literally going to every PWG show and just spying on talent. He would buy a ticket and go and stand in the corner by the bar, and he would people would always take photos of him, and he'd just be watching the shows.
Yeah.
So yeah,
things like PWG can't really do a lot about it, can they? Because he probably would have booked under different names and stuff. And
well, no,
I don't know how secretive they are.
They can't refuse him entry.
Just pay for a ticket.
Yeah, exactly. He would come. They'd often let him come as well. I think a lot of those times there was a lot of people in PWG who, for example, Owens had his eye on WWE for a long time and he was always rejected because of his physique. So I think they sort of let him come to say, definitely hire Kevin. No, So yeah, it's an interesting one. Bayley approaches the BFFs backstage as Charlotte runs away and hides. Bayley says she wants to speak to Charlotte. She is denied and they go to walk off, but Bayley grabs Summer, spins her back round and says, "I want to speak to her now." It's denied again, and Bayley wishes them good luck in their tag team match next week. They say, tag team match? You haven't got any friends, you freak. Like that.
Bitches.
I know. But Bayley grins and said, I definitely have friends. And then she leaves. Any guesses to the tag partner, Adam?
I'm going to go... I'd love to see her and Emma together. That would be amazing. However, maybe they have someone who debuts.
It's not someone who debuts.
Okay.
And it's not Emma.
Oh.
Do you want me to tell you who it is?
Go on.
It's Natalya.
Oh. No.
Yeah,
Fuck off.
It's Natalya, mate. Of course it is. That's why she's here.
Fuck that shit.
Of course it is.
What I did notice as well this week, and it's only like, small side note, having watched Raw the last few weeks and seeing how Charlotte is on TV now, we watched, again, on our sit down and watched SummerSlam from a few years ago when Becky turned. She did the turn, to become the man. Fucking hell. The physique on Charlotte is completely different, isn't it?
She's in much better shape, yeah. She's in unbelievable shape, to give her credit.
But also, I didn't realise...
She looks like a little boy. She looks like a little boy robot.
I didn't realise how massive the breast reduction was as well, to be fair. It's fucking mental.
Yeah, she looks like a little boy robot. She's got very square shoulders.
Yeah.
She's very, rigid. She's like a little toy soldier.
It's done a lot for her, to be fair.
Like a beefy toy.
In respect of,
she trains
movement around the ring.
She trains with Andrade, so yeah. And
yeah,
Andrade,
there's that as well.
She probably does a lot more weight-based training now.
Yeah.
Because obviously she used to be a gymnast, didn't she?
Yeah.
So she probably used to train a lot more for that sort of thing, and now she probably does a lot more weights and stuff.
She's just there stealing his moves now.
Oh, she is. Terribly as well.
Fucking reverse elbow that he does.
Oh,
that
he does brilliantly.
Oh, he absolutely wallops him with that.
Yeah.
Whereas
she does it crap.
I've never seen her once do it correctly. It always looks botched.
Yeah.
Number one contender. It's Sami Zayn. Adrian Neville next.
Welcome back to NXT. Here with me now, Adrian Neville and Sami Zayn. Adrian, how do you feel about tonight's number one contenders match?
Well, Devon, me and Sami, we go back a long, long way.
Yeah, long time.
But tonight, buddy, tonight's not about friendship. It's about one thing. It's about the NXT Championship. It's about getting a ticket to Raw. It's about getting a ticket to SmackDown. You only have to look at previous champions to see what this means. Look at Big E Langston. Look at Seth Rollins. This year, they were part of WrestleMania. Sami, that is what this is about.
Sami, your response?
Yeah, I couldn't have really said it better myself. There's an old friend of mine. I've wrestled him all over the world, but, I get along with him. We are competitive, but the bottom line is he knows what's at stake, and that's the NXT, a shot at the NXT Championship.
Yep.
And he knows that when it comes right down to it, I'll do whatever it is that I've got to do to get a shot at that championship again. I held that title in my hands.
What does that mean? That means you want it more than me because you...
I held that title in my hands. All right. I had a taste of it. I've already kind of been
I guess
there.
you want it more than me.
Yeah, a little bit. Maybe I do, actually.
Well.
We're not going to get into this now, okay? The bottom line is he knows what's at stake. He knows I'm going to do whatever I've got to do, whether it's versus an enemy or a friend.
And I will too. You know that I will too.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah, huh?
No, okay.
Oh, well.
Well, we're... Okay. Let's not get into this.
Thanks, guys. Let's send it back to ringside.
Nice little promo. They go over their history, having met for the first time in England in 2006 and fighting each other on in many different countries ever since. It's nice that these two are going to have a match on... This is probably the biggest stage they've ever had a match, so it'd be really interesting to see what they sort of pull out for it.
Yeah, and they have very similar styles as well, so it will be, a really interesting match in that respect, because it's not like you've got two submission-based wrestlers going after each other. These are like high flyers and like quick movers.
Yeah. Zayn is actually really good at like being a plant for other people to do like high-flying stuff on, so Neville should be able to do things that he's not normally able to do.
He's done it in this as well.
That should be quite good.
It's fantastic.
They say Zayn versus Neville is next. However, Camacho and Unico come out for tag team action against the human Yorkshire puddings, the Ascension.
Did you say human Yorkshire puddings?
They'll rise, duh.
Ah.
There you go.
Like it.
Thank you.
Unless you open the oven door.
In which case they go, "Whoa!" when they feel the cold. Camacho and Victor start here, and early on, Camacho takes control, and they tag in and out to isolate Victor. An impressive performance so far, as Unico beautifully hits a crossbody off the ropes, but is caught by a vicious STO by Victor, who then tags in Connor. I actually quite like the different styles in this match. They blend well.
Yeah, even though I would say it's probably 75% the Ascension, 25% Hunico and Camacho.
Yeah.
Also, they say the champs here, as they're walking down, they are £484. Big tag team.
484?
Yeah.
I'd probably say a good 275 of that is Connor as well.
Yeah, probably.
You know, you probably look at £210 for Victor. Connor is an absolute behemoth.
Behemoth.
Yeah, he's huge. Unico and Victor are legal, as Camacho and Connor are out of the ring at the same time for a high-flying roll-up by Unico for the pin. A shocking loss, and that's the first loss in a good while for the current NXT Tag Team Champions.
I feel like that was telegraphed. In respect of when Connor sends Hunico out of the ring.
Yeah.
It looked so awkward.
It
looked really awkward them both. Yeah, it definitely looks really awkward them both going over the top rope. It's like Connor knew he had to get himself over the top rope, but he didn't sort of do it gracefully enough.
Yeah.
And it was just really against the run of play.
Yeah.
To steal a line from, football. But yeah, it was.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure. It was still a good thing to see them lose, though. And that's probably going to end up in a tag title opportunity, so can't say.
Yeah.
You can't complain at that, really.
Yeah,
and it sets up new challengers. They haven't really got anyone at the moment, so I can understand why they've come back and gone straight into the title picture.
Yeah.
Adrian Neville makes his way out for action after a recap of the Beat the Clock challenge again, Adam's favourite promo. Regal is called away to sort out the incident with Cesaro, which bodes well for us getting a match. So Bo Dallas is on commentary. Huzzah!
You said bodes well as well. There we are.
There we go. Bo is asked who he thinks would be better to face, and he compliments both men before referring to them as good kids.
Again.
An electric start as both men trade back and forth. They then try to go high risk, but Zayn counters Neville's attempt and hits his own to send us to commercial. We are back with Zayn and Neville firing thunderous chops at each other, and it is absolutely... You can feel it in the air.
Yeah. I think the fans know these are the two best wrestlers on this brand.
They know they're going to get something good here.
Yeah.
Absolutely. A beautiful tilt-a-whirl backbreaker and a haluva kick set up, but Neville escapes as Zayn takes a nasty spill to the floor. Top rope acai moonsault by Neville. Crazy height and crazy clean. So talented in the air.
It would be nice to get some really good commentary from Renee and Bo Dallas, but it's literally so pun-based it hurts.
They just talk to each other about
it hurts my soul listening to these two. And also, and I'm going to... Obviously, you'll go to the finish and talk about that, but when you go into the finish of this sort of match and you've got two competitors as good as this, you know you've got the crowd that are basically white hot for this.
Yeah.
And you want your commentary team to set it up.
Yeah.
You want them to go over the history.
Yeah.
You want them to go over how much it means to both people to win as it's a number one contendership and how it's going to change their lives if they do become the NXT champion.
Yeah.
Right. You want that built up. Regal is very good at this, but he's not here.
Yeah.
So we have Tom, which is absolutely fine. Like, he obviously is a very proficient commentator.
Mm-hmm.
You just want that moment to feel special now. I don't give a flying fuck about if JBL is a Bo Lever or not. Don't talk about that.
Yeah,
when you're going in a stretch.
Yeah.
Why do they need to talk about this?
Yeah.
It's so pun-based, it hurts. Honestly, I was raging watching this. I just wanted to enjoy the moment of these two.
And obviously he is a Bo Lever.
Yeah. Obviously, but it's just enraging.
Yeah,
you've got this absolutely class match going on in front of you.
Yeah.
The moves are fantastic, and you'll go through the moveset, and you can engross yourself in it. And you've just got these two chatting bollocks. Honestly, I was fed up.
Yeah, it's not the world's easiest. He rolls Zayn back into the ring, and there's a springboard missile dropkick for a 2. An enziguri by Neville, who goes for a handspring back elbow into the corner, but Zayn picks him out of the air, turns it into the Blue Thunder Bomb for a very close 2. Amazing move. Zayn then hits a Michinoku driver for a 2. Some great moves in this match.
Yeah.
Zayn goes for a haluva kick again, but Neville kicks him first. Zayn's on wobbly legs as Neville struggles to stand before hitting a cartwheel, jumping onto the shoulders of Zayn, turning and hitting a spike pinning Hurricane Rana for a close 2. Unreal. Neville is in shock as the crowd burst into life for that spot, and Zayn stops Neville ascending the ropes, but does get a kick to the head for his troubles. Zayn stops him again, but is struggling to stay on his feet. Neville holds the top rope desperately as Zayn meets him on the top rope, but Neville counters. Huge headbutt sends Zayn to the canvas as Neville hits the red arrow for a 3, and he's the new number 1 contender. A gigantic win for Neville in a great match, and a disappointing loss for Zayn. It'll be interesting to see where he goes from here. Spot's better than the overall match for me personally, which doesn't put it in the top echelon of matches we've seen on this podcast, but it is just below. Some of the individual spots were absolutely outstanding. I as I say, I wouldn't put it in the very, very top selection of matches that we've seen, but I would say it's very close. For me, it didn't hit as a great match. It hit as a good match with great spots.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Like,
don't know if you feel different about that.
No, I think it was really, really good.
Yeah.
And, you know, the problem is, if we hadn't had a match like Cesaro and Sami for the 2 out of 3 falls match, this would probably be up there.
There's better storytelling.
Because the spots that Cesaro does in that, where he's like having to sort of hold position for when Sami's doing all his aerial stuff, are just better.
And as well,
he's a better planter.
The crowd are more involved. The crowd aren't involved here because there's no story. This is just 2 really good wrestlers having a really good...
Whereas you had like weeks of build up between these guys, and you had maybe like, I think you had like 3 matches, didn't you, before the final blowout?
And there's nothing huge on the line here. There's not like a championship on the line or anything like that.
No, well, there's
and again, that
number
might
1
harm
contender spot, but again, it's not really...
But it's not a title, is it?
No.
And the other thing as well, even though the crowd both love these guys, they don't really care who wins, because whoever wins,
they'll be happy.
They're going to be happy.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, you know, we're desperate for Bo not to win, we're desperate for Graves not to win, you know, we're desperate for, like, Rollins to win. It's not like those matches. We're desperate for Zayn to beat Cesaro. It's not like those matches. There's no, you know, out and out heel here. They're both guys that the crowd, like, if it was reversed and Zayn won in the right way, it would have been the exact same response.
Yeah.
Which in those other matches, it wouldn't have been the exact same response. It would have been totally different. And that's what makes those matches just that little bit better.
Yeah.
After the match, we see replays, and Neville offers his hand. Zayn kicks it away to booze, but goes for a hug, as they hype the main event for next week on commentary. Who's your pick?
Who don't... Well...
But you don't know when Bo loses it, do you?
No. So it's like, I don't know whether he's going to lose next week or is he going to...
So who's your pick?
I want Neville, but I've got a feeling Bo holds on to it.
Okay.
For, you know, through some fucking bullshittery like he has done the last 2 times.
Okay, all right.
So I don't know. I mean, at the end of it as well, Tom refers to Neville as Newcastle's greatest son, which was a bit of a stretch for me, but you know.
Well, there you go.
There we go. It's going to be a great match though. In terms of getting the crowd involved.
Yeah.
Because they hate Bo Dallas so much and they're so invested in Neville at this point.
It's interesting though, because for all the world, you just feel, really, what does Zayn do here going forward? Because it's felt like, for all the world, he was going to be the one to beat Bo. And it doesn't seem like he's now the feud going forward, and it doesn't seem like he's now the idea going forward. So it's a bit of a strange one, really, in terms of what has happened to take Sami out of that position.
It's almost like they don't want to put him in that position and give him the title because they want to keep him hanging around because they know it's
put,
almost like they've got this idea.
They want to put him on the journey.
Yeah, once someone has the title, and once they lose it, they just take him up to the main roster, and that's pretty much them done. So it's like they want to keep him in NXT longer.
Yeah,
they're having to play it this way.
Yeah,
and I think
to
now
try and stretch it out.
Yeah,
yeah,
and if Neville doesn't get the title this time, I feel like they're going to have to do something with Sami in respect of give him a feud that he's going to have to sink his teeth into.
Because there's no other challenge as well. That's the thing. Like here, if Bo wins, there's no other challengers.
Yeah.
Is there? There is actually no other challengers. So they've sort of, I don't know, they've put themselves into a corner and they've clearly got a plan. And I know what the plan is and you don't. But yeah, it's... At this moment, I sort of feel like I just don't see where it's going.
Yeah.
So, that's sort of my thoughts. But what were your thoughts on these two shows in general?
Good shows. Really good shows.
Yeah, they were longer episodes this week. They were about, 50 minutes each?
Just over 50 each.
Yeah, about 50, 55 minutes. And actually, those shows, especially earlier on in the podcast, really, really dragged. They were hard to watch. Yeah. Whereas this actually felt like 2 episodes of good TV, well, albeit not great TV, but certainly serviceable enough to pass. Pass without feeling like it's overstayed its welcome, which is a relief.
I'd say, you've got 2 episodes of different TV as well. Yeah. So you've got one episode where you've got like really snappy, quick matches.
For sure.
And then the second one was very sort of promo heavy based and setting stuff up for the future. And you had a couple of longer matches that justified the time they were given as well. Even though you had your squash match as well, you somewhat 2 squash matches if you count the Ascension.
Yeah.
And the match between Tyler Breeze and Cassius as well. Again, a squash, but justified the TV time.
But a lot of these things actually, they made sense, didn't they? A lot of these things, they actually were here for a reason.
Yeah.
As opposed to just sort of like being on the card for no reason or not achieving anything. All of these matches actually achieved something and brought something forward. So that's a definite improvement as well. So, who do you start with the tapings?
I'm going to hate myself for this. Bo Dallas.
Bo Dallas was so good.
He was, and I hate it. I fucking hate it.
Yeah,
but
Bo Dallas
he was really, really good.
He was so good.
Everything he did got an emotion from me. His slideshow at the start and his promo at the start was fantastic. His mid sort of episode promos were good. Him on commentary enraged me. Just anything that just gives you a feeling. And yeah, he plays this character really well. And you've said you think it's purposeful.
It's 100% purposeful.
I just find it difficult to believe that because he's only 22 in this.
Going onto the main roster, it's 100% purposeful.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. It's a difficult one. And actually, I'm going to go for stuff that happened out of the ring this week. But I'm going to give it to Bayley for really good character work. I feel like she's starting to now get more layers to her character in terms of before she was just goofy. And she's been betrayed. And I feel like even though she is still goofy and she's innocent as a character, she's also someone who certainly going forward it's going to aid her when she goes into bigger matches and bigger feuds, and she can keep that playful side, but also she can become a bit more aggressive and look like a winner and look like a champion. And that's going to be really important for her going forward because you can make that character and that sort of thing too naive so it's not believable, whereas actually you can see her starting to peel away those layers that just can't be there all the time. So yeah, I felt like that was really good.
Yeah. Oh no, I agree with you. She's definitely improving week by week. Every promo is getting better.
And out of the women, she's definitely the person with the most direction as a character as well.
She's the one you care about.
Yeah, she is. She is definitely. The rest of them, I can sort of give or take them.
However, I don't know. Paige and Emma are probably your other ones, but obviously they're
not doing anything. They're just going back and forth in promos, not doing anything. And actually, they're just saying they're just annoyed at each other for something that happened 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Whereas actually, Bayley's, every time we're on, we're like, we really like that. She's really funny. She's very sweet. It was a good match. good promo. Like she's not doing anything wrong, and her character is on all cylinders at the minute. So yeah, I think for me, by far and away, she is the most sensible option to have as a really, really good wrestler.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You can find us on all of the great social medias. We are on the Twitter sphere. You can tweet us over at NXTBTTF. Adam, we're also on the Facebook. Meet us on the Facebook, short A, because you got a nice look. Yes, you do. Where are we on Facebook, Adam?
Facebook.com/NXTBTTF.
Absolutely. You can search us, NXT Back to the Future Podcast, and find us on the old YouTubes. Hello, YouTubes. You can find us on TikTok. We are cool, hip. Hello, fellow young people. We are on TikTok. You can find us there at NXTBTTF.
We've got a link tree as well. Is it link tree?
Yeah, you can find all of our wonderful links for where we are on social media and where we are found to download and listen to the episodes. You can find our link tree on our Twitter account. It's just at the top, and it's our main link. So yeah, you can find us and all of our related links over there.
There won't be any sort of after-pod chatting between me and Dave this week because we did one earlier and it lasted about half an hour. So we're going to do that as a midweek bonus just for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's just doing a review of 2013, just saying of everyone who's regularly appeared, we split them into 4 little segues if they should be on the main roster, if they're ready to go to the main roster. Secondly, if they're ready to be a main eventer in NXT, if they need more development as a character, or if they should just be taken off TV. Spoilers, no one should be taken off TV. Everyone on this show definitely does that little bit. But yeah, just a little fun midweek bonus for you guys from us. So if you could leave us a review, take a little bit of time out of your busy week just to, tell us how wonderful we are, or if you really feel that way, tell us how awful we are. We'd rather you be honest than just lie.
Yeah, 100%.
But tweet us, interact with us on social media, give us a message, say hi. One of us is always on the Twitter, sort of having a look or doing something. So yeah, we'd love to hear from you. You can join us next week for some Natalya and Paige squaring off for the NXT Women's title. Aiden English apparently gets an entrance. Cesaro returns to speak about this week's controversy. Tyson Kidd returns from injury after 10 months out with a bad knee.
Jesus.
Neville and Bo fight to be the champion. Hunico and Camacho get a well-deserved tag title shot. Ono returns for one final hurrah. And who is going to be Bayley's tag team partner? I did reveal all earlier. All that and more next week. But for now, from me, Dave.
And me, Adam.
Play the music!
Bye.